Hi, I'm Michael Kourosh. I live in Santa Barbara, California, one of the most beautiful places on earth. My design center is where people come to reimagine their homes and spaces. I work with the best designers, clients with broad tastes, and experts who navigate the fascinating world of design. I'm always excited to learn something new, and I never say no to a challenge. This is Design Santa Barbara. Welcome to Design Santa Barbara. I'm Michael Kourosh and we are at Santa Barbara Design Center, heading south to Oxnard, California to the Murphy Auto Museum. Please join us. David, thank you for having us today at the Murphy Auto Museum. It's a beautiful place. I didn't expect it to be here, and it's beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. You're one of our first celebrity guests we've had here since we've moved. We moved in September of 2019. Of course, if anybody reads the paper, they know that the world was shut down for about a year. We're no exception, but we reopened in April of this year. And we're glad to have the crowds back, and we're glad to be talking to folks about the Murphy Auto Museum.
It smells very fresh. So tell us a little bit about your museum.
Well, no good car museum would smell fresh if it didn't have a little bit of oil and gas. And so this one certainly has that. But the Murphy Auto Museum was founded in 2002 by a guy named Dr. Daniel Murphy. He gave up the running of the foundation at the end of 2013, and so I took over in January of 2014. And we are at a long-standing location for many years, but moved to this location about 2 miles away. The building is a little newer, the area of town's a little nicer. We have had to reduce our collection by about half, but the cars that are here are all really nice, very beautiful, and we like to see people come in here and then leave with smiles on their face. And if how it's been going since April is any indication, then we're doing our job just fine.
I look forward to that, and I want to see what you have in there.
Sure.
But now we are at the front entrance, and this is a Mach 1 Mustang, and looks amazing. Tell us a little bit about this one.
So this car is owned by private collectors. Most of the cars in here are owned by private collectors, but this one is so special because it's a family car. It's a son and his father restored it. The father has since passed away. The son has gone off to medical school, but it's a 71 Mach 1 Mustang. And there's any James Bond fans out there?
James Bond?
They know that Sean Connery and Jill St. John, Diamonds Are Forever, this was the iconic car in that movie that's going down Fremont Street in Las Vegas. And it is such a stunning car, both in the color and in the provenance, that we decided to put it right up front. So it's the first car that people see when they enter the doors of our museum.
Beautiful. Amazing. The engine is amazing. So now, I hear you have something else to show us.
Well, let's go this way.
Love to. After you. All right, that was a tiki room. It's really tiki room.
You like the feel of this?
I love it. I want to stay here.
Well, that's the whole intent. So this was a section of the museum that wasn't being used. So Fireball Tim and his wife Kathy are friends of the museum. He's actually one of our directors, and they came up with this creative idea to make this a tiki room. So it's tiki themed, and we have some great couches here. I think you'll probably notice the volcano when you came in. Fireball and Kathy painted this. My 8-year-old son thought it would be a good idea if cars came spewing out of the volcano.
Oh, that's cute.
So Fireball was kind enough to glue some cars in. So we take input from all of our visitors, even kids, as we make this museum something for everyone to enjoy.
Beautiful. I love it. It's very nice, very cozy.
And then we have some art along the walls that are car related. And then some of the furniture in here has some nice history. We have a couch in here that was actually owned by Jackson Browne. It came to us through one of his sound engineer friends in Malibu, and now that's part of our experience. So folks can come in here and relax and sit on Jackson Browne's
couch. I feel like it. So what are these? They look like some of them are signed.
Yeah, so these are different types of art that we have, all car related. Fireball Tim is one of our Hollywood personalities. He knows a lot of folks from Hollywood, so if our visitors look carefully, they'll see items that are autographed to the museum in general or to Fireball specifically, and that makes it part of our museum experience as well, that some large-scale famous folks and celebrities have a connection with the museum, and that makes our tour even more meaningful.
Beautiful. All right, let's go to the next room.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're small, but we're whimsical. So we try to
You're not small, you're very tall.
I'm 5'18". Let's
oh my goodness,
let's not be deceived. So, but one of the things we try to do is make use of every square foot of space we have in here. So I want to show you something new that has just been deployed with our little museum.
Oh my goodness.
Our all pink girls' bathroom, Barbie theme.
Incredible. People should come here just to go use the bathroom.
I think they are. We have people wanting to come and just see the bathroom, and I'll tell you, the ladies, the girls love the Barbie bathroom.
Oh, you could have a party in there.
But we don't want the boys to be left out.
Oh,
so next up, I'm going to show you what we have for the boys.
All right, let's see. Is that it? It says aliens. There you go. Let's see that. Area 51.
Here's our Area 51 bathroom.
I'm excited.
I hope you like
green.
Oh,
holy moly. Look at this.
We even have a little green alien back there who's able to help you should you need any attending in the bathroom.
This is the most fun bathroom I've ever seen.
I just worried that people are going to get beamed up to someplace, so just have to do your business, get in and out.
You should put a timer in it. All right. So what is next?
Okay, now I want to stroll through time and show you our vintage camping, our vintage Americana, our vintage accessories. We have a lot of things in our collection that we've put out, and it's like a stroll down memory lane. So let's go take a look at that.
Beautiful. So that has been wonderful and exciting. Looking forward to it. We'll be back right after the break. It's been an interesting time for all of us. It was difficult to be separated from the world, but I was incredibly lucky to be able to spend much time with my family. Being home for so long showed us just how important our living spaces are and why proper design is essential. If you are ready to redefine your living space, come in and see me. It would be my honor to help you. We are Santa Barbara Design Center at 410 Olive Street, and we are ready. This week on Michael's Minute, we're gonna be talking about my favorite subject, rugs. Every designer will tell you to start from the rug up. It's the key. We have personally curated a rug collection of thousands, and with over 100 combined years of design experience, we can help you find the perfect rug for your space. And if you absolutely have to look online, go to santabarbara.dc.com or rugsamore.com, find the perfect rug, then come in here and see it in person. I will gladly show it to you myself. And with all our rugs 50% off, our prices can't be beat. Come into 410 Olive Street and let us help you find your rug. This week on Design FYI, we're going to talk about sofas and the unknown mistakes people make. Did you know average American spends 46 minutes a day in a car? But they spend 5 hours and 4 minutes on average on a sofa. So why would you go out there and spend tens of thousands of dollars for something you use for 46 minutes and then go ahead and buy something cheap that you sit on it for 5 hours and 4 minutes? At Santa Barbara Design Center, we create you a custom sofa that is made for you specifically and to your shape and size and comfort, and your family. So when you're sitting and watching TV or talking and conversing with your friends, you're sitting on actually something that represents you. Your car represents you, why shouldn't your sofa? Thank you for joining us on Design FYI this week, and please come see me at Santa Barbara Design Center, 4th and Olive, and let me help you find the right sofa for you and your family. We live in one of the most beautiful locations in the world. I've raised my kids here. I love it here. What we offer at Santa Barbara Design Center isn't just furniture. It's a chance to turn a house into a home. What may look like a deal online, it's very different when it shows up. It's something to be said for feeling it before it becomes part of your life. We are here to help guide you through this wonderful process. We are Santa Barbara Design Center. Come start your journey with us. Welcome back to Design Santa Barbara. Today we are at the Murphy Auto Museum with David, and I understand you have a beautiful Americana collection here.
Yes, thank you.
Tell us about it.
So we have a large collection of Americana, Petroliana, and vintage camping. So that makes us a little different than a lot of car museums. And so along our wall, as part of our initial museum experience when you first walk in, it's like a walk down memory lane. So some of the things we have in here are cars from Back to the Future.
I remember those.
Yep,
yes.
Yep, the DeLorean, who could forget that? And then we have some Star Trek and Star Wars memorabilia. But then we also have things related to vintage camping. That's a big sensation right now in America, particularly in California because the weather's so nice. There's a lot of folks that collect Americana and vintage camping items. They deck out their trailer with vintage camping accessories, and they like to have an open house and show folks the camping
these are
trailers.
amazing. Look at these. They are from what, 50s,
So
60s?
that's from the 1920s. That's an actual Kenmore stove. It's brand
1920s.
new, never been used. That was donated to us. A lot of these things we get from families as the older generation passes on. The kids don't know what to do with it. So we get a lot of things in that regard.
1920s has never been used. That's 100 years.
We have something else from 1927 that's never been used.
Oh my goodness, love to see that.
Very soon.
Oh, these are maps. I
Here's
remember
maps.
those before the iPhones.
Who uses those these days? Everyone just uses
They don't
an
even
iPhone.
know. All right.
But the real trick is folding them up the way you found them when you first got them.
That's an interesting race car down there. What is that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So what that is, that's a race car that's hand-built, and that belonged to Annie Granatelli.
Oh yes, God bless his soul.
So when he passed, his wife Dolly and their son Vince, friends of the museum, gave us a lot of things from their personal collection at their home up in Montecito. We don't have all of it displayed because there's so much, but we do rotate it. And so hopefully visitors come back time and again, they'll see different things from the Granatelli collection.
And we have these beautiful bags here.
So we have vintage
Samsonite,
suitcases.
check it out.
That's a matching set. And then we have some picnic items. Everyone remembers back when they were younger, they would take picnics, maybe take the family car out on a pretty day. And these are all things from the 50s or 60s and 70s that might have been used with those families.
Beautiful. I do a design show, as you know, and when we get up into kitchen and cooking, my mind blows right here
If
too.
you ever need
So
to borrow something like that, let me know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you. We'll do.
And then nobody smokes anymore, but here's a collection of vintage matchbooks. A lot of those were used as marketing items from companies. They would put their company name and address and phone number, and so we have a collection of vintage matchbooks.
Yeah, I remember my cousin used to collect them. He has like thousands of them.
And then vintage toys. We have a friend of the
look at
museum
this.
who donated a lot of vintage toys. So this is one of my favorite sections, and when we get tours of kids in here, I like to turn the things on so the kids can see them. The nice thing about these toys is they're older, so they're mainly made of metal, but they still work. So it's nice to see those in action.
After the show. Sounds good.
All right. And then finally, you could, before the internet, of course, you would have J.C. Whitney, Western Auto, Montgomery Ward, perhaps the Sears catalog. You could order accessories for your car, and then you would clip out the coupon. You would write in what you wanted, send in a check, and then they would send it to you a few weeks later. And these are all items that you would order from those types of
Accessories.
companies. Yes.
Awesome.
So now we get to the end of this section. Now we're going to go into the museum and see some of our amazing cars that we have. And I have a very, very special car I want to show you.
I'm excited. I guess this is the big surprise you're telling me.
Yeah.
This is indeed a big surprise, my friend. It's an amazing thing.
We're very fortunate to have this in our museum. Before I tell your audience who the car belongs to, I'll set it up to say that I got a call one evening from somebody who knows that we store cars here, and they said, you should call this person. Her name is Cleo. She would like to talk to you about storing her car. So I called the phone number and I got voicemail. It said, Shelby residence, please leave a message. So I did. She called back about 20 minutes later, told me the story that this car was in the basement of the Peterson, and that she would like to come up and view our museum to see if it would be proper to have that car here. Very short conversation. I Googled it afterward to see who Cleo Shelby is, and I found out who she was. So she was the last wife of Carroll Shelby before he passed away. And she came the following Sunday with her daughter. They toured the museum. They said, we really think our car would have a better home here because our museum is more interactive. Folks can come up close to the cars. That's kind of unique to us. Not all museums are that way. So in November of 2020, the car came up on a flatbed. We've worked with a Rolls-Royce mechanic to get it starting and stopping. It does that now. And I'm glad to say that the Montecito Motor Classic coming up, we're going to have this car in the Montecito Motor Classic, and Cleo Shelby is going to be part of the experience where she's going to come up and be near the car.
So
now,
world famous Shelby used to drive this.
He did. This is a 1931 Rolls-Royce P1 Phantom. It was actually an ambulance during World War II, and after the war it was shipped to the States and it was rebodied as a boat tail speedster. This car sold at auction in Texas in the mid-1990s. That's when the Shelby family bought it. Carroll Shelby was actually driving this car around Los Angeles quite a bit, and it's astonishing because he was a tall guy. I'm 6'6", and I can't fit in this car. It's just too small in the cabin. So luckily we have some faithful docents who volunteered to drive the car.
Oh, I can drive it.
I'm sure you
I can fit in there.
Sure you would. And so we actually have had a class with the Rolls-Royce mechanic who taught us how to get this car going. So it's a real joy to have this car in our museum, and it's stunningly beautiful.
It's amazing. I have not seen anything. There is one more Rolls-Royce that the Maharaja used to own. They used to take it a couple of times, I think, to the Montecito. That thing is like out of this world, but this is unbelievable. I think they make a new one of the boat tail just very recently.
Yes,
I think there's one they made.
Yes.
It's like $18 million or something like
but
that.
But to have a 1931 that's in this good a condition, you know, it's the perfect meeting of metal, wood, and leather. It's just exquisite in the materials they used for this vehicle. And once it's warm, it's just, you can barely hear it run. It's just
this is worth the visit of your museum. I haven't seen much of it, but this is worth it. Come here and look at this car, and you can get close to it. Don't touch it, but you can get close to it. All right. So, can we go anywhere else?
Well,
Do you have any more surprises?
Go look for some of the things I have to show you that I think you'll really enjoy.
I'm enjoying it already.
All
Let's
right.
go. How many times in the last year have you said to yourself, I really need a new sofa? Spending so much time at home lately, you deserve the most comfortable furniture. At Santa Barbara Design Center's massive showroom, we have numerous selections of sofas and sectionals that you can take home today. Or we can custom build your dream sofa. We make the most comfortable and stylish sofas and sectionals in the industry today. Just ask the top designers in Santa Barbara. They use our sofas and sectionals in their projects because they know clients are beyond satisfied with the results. For a decision as important as this, don't go online or buy from a catalog photo. Come into 410 Olive Street and let our experienced team help you find the perfect fit for your home. Trust me, you want to sit on it before you buy it. Today on Design FYI, we're going to talk about what not to buy when you're going shopping for rugs. Most big outlets or national chains, they sell nowadays hand-tufted rugs. This sounds like it's hand knotted, it's done by hand, but actually they are not. It's called hand-tufted and is actually a gun that rolls the wool around the warp, and they are not good rugs at all. So this is a sample we're having here for you to see. Anything that has a backing like this, flip your rugs over at home, see if it has a backing, is absolutely not good. So what it does is it hides what they did below this thing, which is a latex glue, which actually is toxin. And if you have got any rugs over the net, I hate to say it, over the net, because it's easy to sell and they're inexpensive, you buy these things over the internet. So when it comes to your house, they smell. Have you noticed that? They smell more like a gasoline or more like a diesel because they don't let the latex cure. And the latex that glues this wool to this backing smells a lot. On top of that, they shed quite a lot. The wool is cheap because they need to be inexpensive, and they shed. I would not recommend you to get anything, again, that has a backing and is glued because it comes apart very easily. It is temporary. It is not a green product because they wear very quickly, end up in the fill, and just basically as a landfill junk we are adding to our planet. The things I would recommend you to get, unlike these things that have backing, is the rugs that they have nuts to them. So as what to buy, I highly recommend you to get some rugs that they are hand knotted. And how you can see, flip it to the back, and you can see the knots are done individually, and each one is slightly different than the next one because they're done by hand, and the intensity of the wool and the pull they have, the weaver, makes them look different. Also, the sides are done by hand. That you can see very easily. If you want to buy a real rug, please come to Santa Barbara Design Center and I can gladly help you. Thank you for joining us on Design FYI, Santa Barbara Design Center, Fort and Olive. My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today. All right, now we are in front of this classical RV. How do you call it?
So welcome to Trailer Town.
Trailer Town.
We're one of the very few museums in the country who has a small collection of vintage trailers. And what you're standing in front of is a 1948 Studebaker 2-ton truck that has a camper that was put on it in the late 1960s. We just received it as a donation by the second owner, who had it about 50 years. And this is an amazing article. It's the only one in the world that we know exists out there. So it's a modern running gear. It's a modern Chevrolet engine, but the interior of the truck is original Studebaker, but the camper itself has been updated. It has mahogany wood, it has tile. It actually has a wood burning stove to keep you warm in the wintertime. And one of my favorite features is right up here. This is actually a gravity feed water system. So you can have water while you're out camping, but you have to make sure you fill it up at home before you leave. Otherwise, you're not going to be having any water, but it's gravity fed. So it's a very, very nice addition to our collection, and we're glad that it lives here at the Murphy.
I didn't really know they made campers that old. I mean, we are talking like 70 years ago almost. Wow.
And we actually have had this out a couple of times already. We're going to have it out about 3 more times in 2021 that we know of, because we want to take it out into the public for people to enjoy. So it's already been as far south as Orange County, and it's going to spend a lot of time in Santa Barbara County in the fall.
Is there any way you can show us the inside of it?
Let's go. Let's take a look.
And now we are in front of this, I don't know how you call it. It's almost like a train, or I've seen it in old times. As a little kid, they used to have circuses, they had these.
Correct. So this is another unique article. It's only one known to exist. It's one of one, just like our big Studebaker camper.
The Big Ugly.
The Big Ugly. And this is our 1927 Holt travel trailer. This is a home-built travel trailer by a guy, last name of Holt, in Pennsylvania. He decided he was going to start making these and selling them. He started in 1927, but what happened in 1929 in America was the big stock market crash, and so his market was gone, and he only made one. It stayed on his farm for many, many years. In the 1960s, the grandchildren remember playing with it as a playhouse, and in the early 2000s, they had sold the property. This was pulled out of the barn to do some cleaning. A trailer enthusiast was driving by, saw it, asked if it was for sale, bought it, shipped it out to California, restored it, and then he donated the trailer to us. So this is the oldest travel trailer known to exist that's never been used. It's never been camped in, it's never been trailered. It's always been flatbedded to where it goes. But I want to show you inside because it's like walking into a 1920s speakeasy.
This is so interesting.
Furniture and fixtures in there. And as you mentioned when we first started having the conversation, it's like a train car. And in the back we have a vestibule. So it's
beautiful.
Let's go take a look.
Let's check it out, my friend. This has been an amazing journey and actually nice show, and you have a lot of stuff still that we haven't seen.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we would like to, if it's possible, come next week. And
I wish you would.
Shoot for more, okay?
Okay, I look forward to seeing you.
Love it. We will be back next week with more Design Santa Barbara at the Murphy Car Museum.